All right. Good evening. Happy Monday, Inspire Beauty. I am recording and I'm super excited to talk to you guys tonight about social media. It was funny last night when I posted, I prep my content of, not my content, but my game plan for what I want to talk about based on the previous month. And last month, because of just how much everyone was really pushing for the 3-day refresh in that Snoop group and just really getting involved with the launch of 2B Mindset and the beach bars and just some energy in our team with people really wanting to get out there and engage on social media. As I was planning out June, I was like, this is one that I need to talk about. I need to talk about how we craft posts and how does my mind work as I'm going through it, and how could your brain work as you're going through it, how to make it easier for yourself and not feel icky. Things like that. But last night you guys cracked me up because you're like, you must have been talking to me. And I'm like, obviously, like I plan these out because I think that's probably what you need. So hopefully that shows through tonight. So let me share screen with you guys. You can use the chat while we're going through this, you guys, at any point to talk through things or just, give a little amen if you hear it, if you feel it. A couple announcements before we get started. You guys, Lift 4 launched today in terms of the VIP early access. And I know it's a little confusing with like the way that their launches are happening now, but this is like, you think about it like this is the movie theater. It's out and like we're going to pay a little bit more money to see it in the movie theater. I'm like getting my tickets right now, right? Like you can already freaking buy like Jurassic World or Jurassic Kingdom tickets, I'm pretty sure. If anybody noticed that, like I'm pretty sure that doesn't come out for a little bit and you can already buy tickets for the movie theater. So like people pre-order their tickets because they want to see the movie, right? So that's like what people are doing right now. And as we say, if we say July 16th, you guys, when we're talking to people, they are going to think that that is a long time away. What I found is I had somebody who's like, I'm going to be able to do it next Monday. Next Monday is when I'll do it. And I said, oh, that's awesome, because then you'll get 4 new workouts and we'll have about 3 weeks before our group starts. Doesn't that sound like a little different than July 16th? If we say July 16th, most everybody thinks that's like 17 years from now, and it's really not, right? So just keep that in mind in the way you're wording things when you're talking to people. But it launched today, so just keep those conversations rolling. I sent emails out to all my people that were interested and made sure that they knew that it happened today, and I'm just going to keep following up. But I'm also going to be doing those before Lift 4 workouts and showing those off on my social media, especially on my stories, so that I can build interest and intrigue for people from now until July 16th. Keep in mind that anyone who joins July 16th is doing it ahead of everybody else. The masses won't get to do it. The public will not get to do it until October. And so when you continue to let people know, hey, like the public's not going to get access to this until October, but like I'm going to get you in. Like we're going to do this together before everybody else even knows what this is. Just create that interest around that. Mes Temas also is coming out as well. And I know we haven't spoken about this one as much because our team is not really Spanish speaking. I got a little bit of my Miami still in me, but Mes Temas, if you do have any sort of Hispanic market that you know would really love a program like this, and I will I will do a giveaway for anybody who can translate that right now without cheating in the comments. No, Jess is like, nope, I don't know what that means. Anyway, no cheating. Mes temas. Anyway, but that is also coming out, you guys, and that's just a fun one to like, you could try it out, test it out. It's just fun to know about the products we have, because you never know when somebody's going to be like, I totally want that product, or you never know when they're going to open up Beachbody in Spain and like, we need Spanish speaking programs, right? Like you just don't know these things. So just keep yourself abreast. That's not one that I'm like planning on doing from start to finish, but it is one that I definitely want to get knowledgeable on so that if the opportunity arises, I have that in my arsenal, right? Summit 2018 is next week. Oh my gosh, you guys, like Summit's next week. What? It feels like it's still really far away and I'm like not prepared at all. So anyway, Summit 2018, typically when I leave for Summit, I have done a really poor job of empowering our team to like step up. And even if you're not present at Summit, like be present for Summit. There are going to be like the opening and closing ceremonies will be live streamed, so you'll be able to watch those. That would be an awesome opportunity to like stream that to the team page, like share it, right? That would be, I'm sure, on Team Beachbody 411 or on Beachbody Champions page. I'm certain on all of those pages, as announcements are, as launches are announced and new products and things that are coming up the pipeline for us, all of that stuff I'm sure will be announced there. And you guys, when I'm at Summit and our team is at Summit, that's where we are. We paid the money to be there. It's about being present and not on my phone. And so I'm not going to be plugging that information in as quickly as those of you who are at home watching behind the scenes. So I want you to have your own little watch party. Like, make sure every day you're like on Summit 2018 watch. Like Thursday, I'm figuring it out. Like, I want to make sure I know because there will be announcements on Thursday night at that opening ceremony. And then Friday, you know, like I want to be a part of what's going on. Friday and Saturday, we'll be able to pour a little bit more info into you guys after we're done with our sessions, and maybe just give you some nuggets of wisdom that we're learning. But take it upon yourselves to make Inspire Beauty not go dead for 4 days while I'm out of town, right? It should still be a place that is like blooming, blossoming, and growing as even if you were not fully present with us. And then, that being said, 2019, on Thursday night, I'm certain on Thursday night, they will announce where 2019 Summit is going to be and the dates. You guys, prep for that. Because the second that it launches, like our Summit page is going to already be prepping for next year's Summit, getting Airbnbs set up, figuring out who's going to stay with who. I want this to blow up. My very first 2 years of Summit, I did not have any teammates go with me. My third year of Summit, I had one teammate go with me. My fourth year, I had a couple more. And now this is I think I'm lying, straight up lying to you guys. How many years of Summit have I gone to? Whatever. Anyway, this year is more than doubled. Each year since I've started, it's more than doubled each year. And so if we've got, I don't know, I think it's 10 or 11 of us going. If there's 11 of us going, there is no reason that we shouldn't have at least 25 next year attending. So get that on your radar, you guys. It is a game changer. You don't have to be a business builder to go. In fact, most of the people that are attending Summit next week, actually, you probably are like, who's that person? I don't even ever see them on our team page, because they're not like what you would consider a business builder, but they were like, it's near my house. I'm going. I love autumn. I want to work out with them, this and that. So I can't wait to see how that unfolds for everybody, but get that on your radar if you're not there now. Beachbody Nutrition Plus app. I talked about this last week that the 2B Mindset app came out, but this is actually, it is housed within the Beachbody Nutrition Plus app. And I wanted to bring this up again tonight because I want you guys to make sure that you're informing your challengers about this app. Okay, it's not just inform your challengers who are doing 2B Mindset. No, this is a great app because it's got all of like the 21-day fix. Like, they can do portion control instead of doing the plate it method. So they can pick what method they want to track with. They can, so if they're doing 80-day obsession and they want to track those containers, that is an app that they can use. It also has all the recipes from the Beachbody blog on there. It's got the Fix8 show on there. Anything and everything nutrition from Beachbody is on there. So that is a great sister app that goes along with everything they're doing in BOD, okay? And then the Self-Love Experiment, if you are reading that book with us, love it. We have decided and voted on Saturday morning coffee talks, and that will start this Saturday at 7 a.m. I need to write that down before I forget, but at 7 a.m., make sure you have coffee, because it wouldn't be coffee talk without that. And then we're going to start talking through the book, and just, I want it to be as organic as possible. So we talk through what we're learning, how we're growing, and just anything that pertains to like the life we're living, right? So I'm really excited for that. And that's what our Wind Down Wednesdays have now transformed over into for the time being, because I want to get back into that book club feel where we are diving into personal development and really growing as ladies. Okay. Before we really dive in, this is on topic, this is not announcements, but this is like, I need to preface some things before we get into the meat and potatoes of social media. First of all, like pen, pencil, whatever you write with, and notebook, like these need to be jotted down. Tell yourself that fear doesn't get to drive the car. No more. Fear doesn't get to tell you the directions on the GPS. Fear doesn't get to play with the controls on the radio and figure out what song you're going to listen to. Fear doesn't even get to sit in the front seat with you. Fear can sit in the back because fear isn't going to go away. I'm not telling you we don't get to have fear in this because it's not true. We will have moments where we're like, oh, this makes me a little nervous, a little nauseous. I'm a little fearful to post this, but I'm going to do it anyway, right? Fear will exist in this. In this. When you're doing big stuff, fear is around. But fear doesn't get to drive the car. Fear doesn't even get to be in the front seat, right? No shotgun for fear. In the back, shut your mouth. You don't get to say, but I know you're in here, right? So keep that in mind. Second, no one on our team, this is like, hallelujah, I'm so excited. Guys, to date, no one on our team has died from posting. It's exciting. I know. This is amazing. This is like, I should go tell Carl Deichler, Beachbody, that Inspire Beauty has never had a coach die from posting because I'm certain that other teams have had coaches die from posting. I am being so sarcastic right now, you guys. Guys, no one has died from posting, and no one has died from an ugly comment or anything like that. It's simply just pruning you and shaping you and molding you to be better the next time, or better equipped next time to respond to that, or just figure out who belongs in your circle anyway, right? But no one has truly died from posting. So keep that in mind every time you go to do that. If you're confused by your message, you guys, so are your followers. I love following you guys on social media, and I love seeing what's happening in your lives and whatnot, but there are times where I will see a coach on our team post something and I'm like, that message doesn't make sense. Like, it'll be like something really tragic and dark and like, but that's not inspiring beauty. And so you have to really get laser focused. Like, what is your message? Are you going to be negative on social media? I have bad news for you. If you're going to be negative on social media, this whole thing probably will not work for you. It's just not. Because if you're trying to inspire people and bring hope into their lives and show them that that if I can do it, so can you, negativity can't house there, right? And so we have to be really conscious. Like, and I'm telling you this from the heart, guys. There's times where I've posted something and I've taken it down because I'm like, you know what? That's just not in line with what I want to sound like and who I am. And in the moment, it felt really like, this is awesome to post. And then like 20 minutes later, I sat on it and was like, yeah, I should take that down. So I've totally done that before. I'm not telling you to go like to your social media and just erase everything. But what I'm saying is be conscious. Be conscious, because if you're confusing in your message, your followers are absolutely confused as well. What you have to say matters, you guys. I hope you know that. Like, I really, really, really hope you, and if you don't know that, keep reminding yourself that what you have to say matters. What everyone has to say matters. And it's so funny when I watch like little rants and tants and things that happen on social media, because everybody just wants to be significant, right? Like, everybody wants to be important. Everybody wants their opinion to matter. And the thing is, what you have to say does matter, okay? Keep that in mind. The other thing that we need to know before I even tell you anything is that you have to apply this. Just if you just sit here tonight and you soak in all this knowledge and you don't actually go take applied action and do it, it doesn't matter. Knowledge is not power, you guys. Knowledge plus that applied action towards what you're learning, that's when it's powerful. So if you sit here tonight, you take notes, you learn a lot, and that's awesome, and then for the next week, you don't really post that much on social media, man, what a shame. Because that's a whole waste of 30 minutes of your life tonight, okay? You've got to apply it. You also can't go MIA on people. At first I wrote that you can't dabble, and I put MIA because like we know what it's like when like somebody just doesn't respond to us, or like we put a post up and it doesn't have any like was anybody on social media today? Nobody liked this or commented. It's so weird, right? Or like when you put up something in the group and no one acknowledges it, whatever. We all know what it's like to talk to a wall. But the thing is, you can't do that to your followers. If you're committing to this, you guys, and I'm not saying you have to like sell your soul to Beachbody and give your life away. What I'm saying is you just can't go missing. Like, I should not see a string of days put together where there's no post from you, because again, like, that just shows how you would be as a coach. That shows that, are you really going to support me on my journey? Because you're not really here on social media either. You know what I mean? And trust me, that matters. That matters. And the last thing, you guys, is have fun. Have fun with this. It should be fun, but also be annoying. And when I say be annoying, I mean, it's okay. I'm giving you permission. We all get worried that like, oh, I'm going to be so annoying because I'm posting the same, like I do three clips of my workout every day, and I always show my energize. And then I always, have a poll. And then if they're still watching, they're interested, you guys. if you're really that annoying, they'll unfollow you and they weren't your people anyway, right? But be annoying. It's okay. And this is the cool thing about the way we're being annoying, because again, go back to that, like, don't be confusing on your message. You need to be annoying in like the most positive way and realistic way. I'm not always sunflowers and roses and daisies on my social media. There are times when I'm very real about things that are happening in my life, but there's always a message to the mess, right? And so I can be annoying in that way, and I can rest easy at night because I know that by my posts, there are far worse ways to be annoying in this world, right? Like, I'm not being annoying and putting hate out into the world. I am being annoying over a passionate, experience that I've had that I want to pour into other people, right? So be annoying. It is so okay. Okay, I put this quote up a while back on another Zoom that we did, and I thought it was super relevant, so I wanted to share it again. But that I've learned that people will forget what you said, forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And that's the goal, you guys, is to spark that emotional Me Too response where someone's like, yeah, oh my gosh, like, you must be speaking to me because I can so relate. That Me Too, that girl, I feel you, or I get you. When people can connect to you, that's when you know you've won them over, because you've made them feel a certain way. It's not about your words that you said or that you did your workout and then you told them about it, but it's how are you making them feel with the words that you're sharing with that post, right? Okay, so let's dive in. So first things first, you guys, when we are navigating how to, oh, this is not good. Okay, why did that get, okay, it's off center a little bit. Sorry, it doesn't matter really what's hidden. But anyway, when we start to figure out how to post on social media and how to craft these posts, you guys, the first foundation you need to know is, who are you? Like, making an exhaustive list. And I want you to do that right now. Like, start creating a list of like all the like bullet points of what makes you you. Like, I have wiener dog mom, newlywed, I'm a burnt out ex-teacher, I hate going to the gym, I love self-care, I prefer to be in leggings and a messy bun, I love the sunshine and traveling, I eat pizza and drink wine, there have been times in my life where I've struggled to make ends meet, lots of debt in that way, gave everyone all of me for a long time, coffee is life, bath lover, yoga and daily devotions, Christian woman in a modern world. Because sometimes I don't even think I fit into the Christian woman mold. Pencils over pens. That's so silly, but like, that's me. Naps are my jam. Love fixer upper. Take me to the beach. And then I openly speak about depression. So those are just some nuggets right there about Brittany. But I want you to jot down your list. And like, when you get to a place where it's exhaustive, find more. And this list, you guys, is important. I'm going to kind of keep moving on, but if you keep thinking of things, you can jot them down as we're going. And this is absolutely a great assignment to do post Zoom as well. But keep in mind, guys, when the reason we're doing this is because you need to know who you're talking to. Now, I'm not necessarily talking to like only me, but like I know me better than I know anyone else in this world. And so like that's the person I'm really good at talking to is me and people who have been down my road and through my journey or who are already in the trenches. Chalene Johnson once said in a training that I was in that if you always want to like speak to the person that you were maybe like a year ago or 2 years ago or 5 years ago. You want to talk to that person because you know how to help them out. Even if you're not where you want to be yet, there are things you've overcome in the last year or 2 or 3 or whatever that if you speak to that person who you once were, I mean, man, you're really attracting your tribe right there. And so if you're speaking to everyone, you guys, you're really speaking to no one. To put these blanket statements out there, to just put a blanket post out there, to try to please everyone on social media, you're doing yourself a major disservice, okay? And I had to get really used to making sure that I wasn't speaking to just the masses, right? I had to really target who I was talking to. There's a reason why I used to, at the beginning of my business, and most of you probably don't know because you weren't with me yet at that time, but at the top of my business, I spoke to men and women. In fact, I probably spoke more to men and brought men into my groups than I did women. And I made a decision in my business about the time that Inspire Beauty started to happen, that I would no longer speak to men, that I wanted to speak to women. Now, does that mean men don't follow me? Does that mean men don't reach out and question and are interested? No. But when I found that I was speaking to everyone, men and women, I couldn't get as in depth with things that like I truly struggle with as a woman. And so my voice, it was easier for me and more defined if I spoke to just women, right? Which is kind of funny because there's a lot of men that react to my posts, but like I'm not speaking to them. So it's kind of funny. So what you want to do with your list is once you, oh, and that didn't show up either. It's find your box. It's an emoji, you guys. Womp womp. Failure. Okay. Learn for next time. No emojis in my text. Okay, got it. Look for similarities because you're going to want to break it down. Like when you make this exhaustive list and I'm up here and you're like, oh my gosh, Brittany, like you've got all these things. Like that looks intimidating. And when I look at that, I can be like, oh my gosh, well, what do I even say with this huge list of like all this crazy stuff that is Brittany? Like that's just a lot. Well, there's commonalities, right? Like there are things that are in common that I can like encompass with being a dog mom. There are things that I can encompass into like the self-care aspect. There are things that can go into the bubble of food and what I love about food, whether it's healthy eating or my pizza and wine, right? Incorporating like Charlie and my married life all into one thing, right? So finding your, and that should be a 5. It was a 5 emoji. Find your 5. So you need to find 5 things that really define your brand. Okay. And they can be like similar to me. I mean, you know, none of these things are like earth shattering and they're not like, oh, Brittany, I never knew that about you. But like, you can see where all of my things kind of weave into one of these 5 categories. More than 5, I think you're really starting to get a little bit too broad. And I think less than 3, you just don't have enough content and ammo to really pull from. So I would say anywhere from 3 to 5 things that really kind of just encompass all of those. And so I'll give you, that's something you can do later after you've made your exhaustive list. Go back and start to see, okay, well, what are the things that like, how could I title that or caption that, right? And then go from there. And then I stick to, that's what we would call your brand. So once you know your brand, you know what you're going to talk about every day. There's no like guesswork. In the beginning of my business, I remember clearly I had a window of time before I had to get out of the house to go to work. And I always wanted to make sure I had a morning post up. because if I didn't get a morning post, I wasn't going to post again until way later in the day. And at that time in social media land, you really needed to post like a lot. Now we have stories for that, right? But at that time, I needed to get a post out before 7 a.m. And every morning, will never forget, I would get on Pinterest every morning and I would just scroll and scroll. I would type like fitness motivation and I would just scroll and scroll. And I couldn't freaking think of a thing to say. And no one taught me this. No one taught me, because I don't think at that time we really knew how to have a voice and a brand on social media, honestly. But it wasn't until I finally started to really see that all I had to do was speak of these same things kind of almost over and over and over again. And people would fall in love with me. They'd know who I am. Like, I think people follow me, you guys, because of Frankie. I don't think people follow me because of me. Like, it's at a point where like, it's just weird. And so of course, like if you look down here in the bottom left, I have this picture that I put up the other day. And the thing is, Frankie has this like attitude problem right now where he won't stop going to the bathroom in the house. And he knows better. He knows better. So like today or that day, I took a really silly picture of him and I put, "But Mom, it's so much easier to just poo-poo in the house." And it had 214 freaking likes. Nothing else has that many likes on my Instagram. Like, they love Frankie. But the thing is, you guys, that's part of my brand. And so my brand, I'm not going to get on social media every day and say, "Join my challenge group, lift 4s out, 21-day fix, portion control containers, drink more water." Like, I'm not going to do that every day, because then I just become white noise and all I become is a walking billboard for Beachbody. And I don't want that for you guys. I do not want you to be a walking billboard for billboard for Beachbody. That was really hard. Whew, this 3-day refresh is kicking my butt, you guys. Okay, so I want to infuse those. But here's the trick. I could easily, if you went to my Instagram, it could easily just be all Frankie, because that's an easy, safe place to hide, is under Frankie. And sometimes I think under our children and under our family, right? Like, it could be really safe for me to hide behind that. We can't do that, you guys. Okay, so yes, infuse that, because people want to see your life. They want to see you. They want to see the silly side of you, right? And the behind the scenes stuff. But don't let that be all that they get, right? Up here, it's just my like edgy, sarcastic side. It says, because sometimes you motivate yourself to work out by ordering a pizza. And I put real talk, just saying, pizza girl. Because that's my life, you guys. Like, that day, I literally motivated myself to work out by ordering a pizza. And then I ate the whole pizza by myself because I was depressed. But like, honestly, one person, she was like, I think, yeah, right here, you could see, she said, "This post made me want to be your friend, fastest follow click ever." And then we've been talking behind the scenes, you guys, because I posted about pizza and I said, just saying, like, that's real. This is my life. Down here, I'm riding the struggle bus, you guys, like, and I pressed play anyway. This was last week, okay? And like, I'm going to be real. I'm going to tell people, like, today wasn't easy. It's not always butterflies over here. And then the other day, guys, in this picture on the top left, I'm sure some of you guys can relate that my nothing fit and my closet sucked and I didn't have anything to wear. Who's ever been there? And so I almost posted about that, but the savior, okay, because 80-day obsession has made my butt nice, but it's also like a little bit more voluptuous. And so my jeans don't fit. And so, you know what's saving me right now? Stretch. My jeans that have some stretch. And so I just put it out there like a little silliness that, you know, if our world would be in a better place if every pair of jeans had stretch in them. Guys, that's me talking. Like, if you came over, that's how I would joke around. Like, so I want to hear your voice and stick to your brand. Okay, so this addressed depression down here, but the value of self-care through it. This addresses my balance of self-care, yes, but self-care is sometimes ordering yourself a pizza and eating it all by yourself. This is addressing, like, we all want stretchy jeans. I get you, girl, right? And down here is just being silly with Frankie and saying that my house has poop in it, because that's my life. Consistency, you guys, is everything. If you get anything from tonight, consistency is everything. I said at the beginning, you cannot go MIA on people. You cannot. So you need 1 or 2 amazing posts on your feed a day. And when I say amazing, you guys, Amazing doesn't mean, look at this, 214 likes. I had a lot of comments. This was a really great conversation starter with people, okay? And all I talked about was that my dog pooped on the floor, right? So amazing post, you guys, means for your brand, and it's something that's going to make people stop, right? So amazing doesn't have to be a novel. I don't want you to think like, but sometimes I just don't know what to say. Like I say what's on my stinking mind sometimes, right? Which gets me in trouble. 8 to 10 stories every single day. So this is where like you're behind the scenes, like your posts on your feed, you guys, that is like your scrapbook. That is like the best of the best. When you go on vacation and like one photo goes in a frame, that's the one, okay? But then your 8 to 10, your other stuff can go on your story, right? Remember, again, you're more than Beachbody. So your brand, while it's going to probably have fitness, nutrition, self-care, that kind of stuff infused in your brand, that is not just your brand. People want to know all about you. But be careful, because I also see the opposite, where people only tell me about their life and they don't tell me about Beachbody. It's got to marry together, okay? Mix it up. So look at the last 12 posts you've crafted. Are they all the same? If you look, like when I go to my Instagram, I do these checks on myself every day. Before I post anything, I say, is that going to look too similar than the last thing? What haven't I seen in a while? So if I'm in here and I'm like, I haven't seen Frankie in a while, I'm going to post Frankie. So like, I don't know if you guys can see right now, but that one I posted today because I hadn't had food in a while. There's Charlie. Okay, cool. He's in here. We're good. I got a transformation. You should always be able to see a transformation in my scroll. Transformations don't have to be half naked either, you guys. Amanda is on here right now. She did an awesome one the other day of like it was a pre-grad school, and then like now, yeah. And like she was fully clothed and it was totally awesome. And just, you could see the transformation. They can also be heart transformations. Like my heart has transformed over these last couple of months because of X, Y, and Z, right? So you should always have a transformation. I should not be able to scroll. I should not be able to do that without seeing a transformation, right? So my last 12 posts, you guys, you know what's missing? Frankie. So the next thing I need to post is probably something about Frankie, because right now I can't see him on my screen. And that's the reality. I just do a nice, honest inventory of like, are they all the same? Is it the same angle of a selfie? Stop taking that same angle of a selfie, right? Is it always a sweaty selfie after a workout and the same pose and the same this? Change it up, okay? I love getting creative. And my creative energy, you guys, comes from looking and observing others, right? So like I noticed that some people did really cool shots where they like were looking down on their laptop. So I figured out how to do that. Or, I figure out where the lighting's better, even if it's not like the most conducive area, but like my lighting on my balcony is really great. So a lot of times I'll take my food out there for a second, snap a picture overhead so that it looks nice, right? So just, be a student of your craft, right? And the only reason that I know how to take shots that I know how to take is I literally look at somebody's Instagram and say, I wonder how they did that, right? And then I finagle with it until I have no more memory on my phone because there's so many pictures. The way your feed looks matters, you guys. So do they know it's you? Again, like when we go up to here, I'm certain that people, like if they were just, my heart is, especially the ones that I'm not in, if somebody was just scrolling through social media in Instagram, right? They're not actually at Brittany's page, because most people don't actually go to your page. They scroll it through the feed, right? So if they're in the feed and they see this, are they going to be like, that's Brittany? Or are they going to see this pizza and be like, that must be Brittany? Like I want them to know that, right? And so it's okay. That's where that be annoying is okay, because that develops a brand. It develops an identity. I can't tell you how many people are like, hey, Brittany, run to your happy place. And like, cool, man. But like, it's a brand. People know that handle, right? And like Inspire Beauty is the same thing. People, you have no idea. There's people all the time that are like, they just want to know what Inspire Beauty is because they see the hashtag all the time, right? It builds intrigue and interest. So you want to be annoying in the sense that people know you, or at least feel like they know you. People trust me, you guys, and my invites have become so much easier because I have belief in what I do and I show up every day. So when I sit down to do invites, I'm not sitting here worrying what people are going to think about me, because you know what? If they've been following me, they see it. They see who I am. So it goes back to that consistency, you guys. It is everything. It makes the rest of this so much easier. So if you take anything from tonight, you guys, you have to show up every single day on your social media. Okay. And again, like reinventing the wheel, you don't have to do that. That post that I put up last night when I called you guys to action with the one with Charlie in the water, and I was talking about like the 30+ pounds we've collectively lost. I posted that 2 months ago, you guys. I just reposted it and I changed the group that was happening. So like when you start getting in a rhythm like that too, you can go back to old content and just maybe finagle it a little bit and plug it in for what you're currently doing. Okay, last thing as we're running out of time. So top tips, you guys, have a game plan for your week. When I sit down for my week, I've got my planner, but in my planner, at the top of the week, it says weekly focus. And I always have my game plan. So I know like, okay, my focus this week is I'm Lift 4 prep, is coming out. So I want to make sure like in my social media that I am infusing that. Does that mean every single post has to be Lift 4? No, but that means that is on my radar. So at least a couple times throughout the week, that is going to make an appearance on my feed. Know the times you will post. Like I said, when I was a teacher, I was very adamant about making sure at 7 a.m. I had a post out. So if you're busy, like we all are, or especially if you're working another job and you've got to get out the door in the morning, get that post out. Know that that's what you're going to do. And before you go to bed, craft it. Craft that post before you go to bed. Save it either in your notes or there's an app a couple bullets down called Later. The Later app is a pre-planning app for Instagram. It will not upload it for you. You can't do that on Instagram, but it will remind you when it's time to post it. So like before you're going to bed at night, rather than scrolling the feed, make a new post for the morning so you don't have to stress about it come the AM, right? Find inspiration in your life, meaning living life through the lens of a coach. So at all times, I'm like, how could I make this into a post, right? How could I, like the stinking jeans the other day, I could have just snapped a selfie and acted like life was great, but I made a little funny joke out of the fact that I love my stretchy jeans right now, right? So I'm living my life through the lens of like, how could I apply this and take this message out to other people? And it just comes with like slowing down a little, you guys, and having an awareness. Using hashtags that relate to you. Right now, Instagram's saying 10 is a really great number. And so you can have up to 30, but 10, at least 10, I would suggest, and make them relative to you. Do not do Beachbody, hashtag Shakeology, hashtag Lift 4. No, like hashtag Wiener Dog Mom. Today, you guys, funny story. I know it says less than a minute, but I looked up the hashtag Teeny Weenie because I thought that would be like Frankie, like he's a tiny wiener dog, teeny weenie. No, it's inappropriate. Don't look it up. Enough said. Anyway, that's not a hashtag that you should use. Play with your length of posts and various calls to action. So the length of the post, I don't always have super long ones. Sometimes they're shorter, right? Play with that. Figure out the best days and times. For me, I love Sunday night, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. By Thursday and Friday, it starts to die down a little. So my more important posts, I push in that time frame from Sunday night to like Tuesday night, right? And then give it a so what check, you guys. Like read what you wrote and say, so what? Like, does this matter? And if it's just to get a laugh or just to get people to like stop their scroll and have a chuckle, cool. But if it's like truly doesn't matter towards your mission and what you're trying to achieve, then craft something better or just don't craft it at all at that time, right? A so what would probably be more of a story thing than